30 years ago, healthy young adults almost never died from the flu or from a simple bacterial infection. You might get sick for a few days, but your immune system, supported by trillions of good bacteria, would usually fight it off before it became dangerous. Today, that story has changed. We are seeing more and more cases where healthy people, even athletes in their 20s and 30s, land in the ICU from infections that used to be easily beaten. Some don't survive. The question is, what happened in the last 3 decades that left us so vulnerable? We are living in the age of the superbug. These are bacteria that have evolved to resist the antibiotics that once wiped them out. Globally, more than 1.2 million people already die every year from antibiotic-resistant infections. And projections say that by 2050, the death toll could reach 10 million annually. The narrative has always been that antibiotics were our ultimate weapon against infection. But what if the real weapon we've lost isn't a drug? It's the bacteria that have lived inside us and on us for millions of years. If you go back to the early 90s, or even just a generation ago, our relationship with bacteria was very different. Infections still happened, but our immune systems had help. Our gut microbiome, trillions of bacteria living in our digestive tract, played a critical role in protecting us. These bacteria produced natural antimicrobial compounds, crowded out dangerous invaders, and trained our immune cells to respond appropriately. Even our skin, mouth, and respiratory tract were colonized by friendly microbes that acted like bouncers, keeping troublemakers in check. Long ago, this relationship was even stronger. People grew up with constant exposure to nature, animals, soil, and fresh unprocessed food. Those microbes acted like an invisible defense army, ready to respond to threats. But in the past 30 years, the way we live, eat, and treat illness has dismantled that army piece by piece. One of the biggest changes is antibiotics. In the early 90s, overuse was already a concern, but prescriptions were still somewhat restrained compared to today. Now, antibiotics are still handed out for many viral illnesses where they do nothing, and they're embedded in our food supply through conventional meat, dairy, and even in trace amounts in drinking water. Every time we take antibiotics, or eat food containing them, we not only kill the bad bacteria causing illness, we also wipe out vast numbers of the beneficial bacteria we depend on. Diet has also shifted dramatically. Industrial seed oils and ultra-processed foods now dominate the grocery store. These oils and processed ingredients damage the gut lining, trigger chronic inflammation, and starve our good bacteria of the fiber they need to survive. Instead of feeding them with fresh vegetables, fruits, and fermented foods, we've been feeding the wrong microbes, the ones that thrive on sugar and processed fats, many of which contribute to inflammation and disease. Then there's the rise of the antibacterial lifestyle. In the 90s, antibacterial soaps and cleaning products began flooding the market, and over the years, they've become a household standard. While this might sound like a good thing, the truth is that these products don't discriminate. They kill good and bad bacteria alike. Over time, this reduces the diversity of our microbiome, leaving fewer good guys to keep pathogens in check. Children today are also growing up in more sterile environments. Many spend less time outdoors, have less contact with animals, and eat a far more processed diet than their parents or grandparents did. Early exposure to diverse microbes is one of the most important factors in building a resilient immune system, but we've been cutting children off from that natural training ground. The result of these changes is a perfect storm. When dangerous bacteria enter our bodies now, they face little resistance from the microbiome. Instead of an immune system backed by a diverse, thriving community of microbes, we have a smaller, less capable microbial network. This means that infections spread faster, symptoms escalate more quickly, and what used to be mild illnesses can now turn into medical emergencies. In March 2024, in Nora, New South Wales, 29-year-old Ashley Timbery learned this the hardest way possible. She was vibrant, active, and otherwise healthy. At first, she only felt a little tired, with some muscle aches and a few small boils. Nothing that seemed life, but her condition worsened suddenly, and she collapsed at home. Rushed to the hospital. Doctors discovered her lungs were riddled with holes from a severe MRSA infection, a drug-resistant strain of bacteria. Despite aggressive treatment, Ashley's body could not overcome the infection. She died just days after her diagnosis, shocking her family, friends, and community. Her story became a tragic reminder that in the superbug era, even the healthiest among us are not immune. We are also up against bacteria that have adapted to survive our most powerful drugs. The overuse of antibiotics in both humans and agriculture has given rise to strains like MRSA, carbapenem-resistant, enterobacterius, and drug-resistant tuberculosis. These are not theoretical threats. They're already here, and they are infecting otherwise healthy people. The irony is that in trying to sterilize our lives, we've made ourselves more vulnerable. We can't kill our way out of the superbug era. The more we try, the more resistant bacteria become. The only real path forward is to rebuild the microbial defenses we've lost. That means choosing whole, unprocessed foods over industrial products. It means feeding our gut bacteria with fiber-rich vegetables, fruits, legumes, and naturally fermented foods like sauerkraut, kefir, and kimchi. It means avoiding unnecessary antibiotics and antibacterial products whenever possible. And it means getting back into contact with nature, letting kids play in the dirt, gardening, spending time with animals, and breathing in the microbial diversity of the outdoors. The last 30 years have changed our relationship with bacteria, and not for the better. But it's not too late to reverse the damage. If we stop waging war on the microbial world and start rebuilding our alliances, we can make our bodies more resilient. Because in the age of superbugs, your gut bacteria may be the most important allies you have. Jennifer here. Keto and fasting. Yup, been there and done that. Please like and subscribe. I hope to reach more people one day.